Hey everybody. Here's a quick little guitar tip for you on, today we'll talk about bending strings. So mostly probably for electric players, um, as acoustics are kind of hard to bend because the strings are heavier. But anyways, bending strings. Super important part of a lot of forms of music. Um, and what bending string is, for anyone who doesn't know, is basically you're taking the string, you are bending it to stretch the string, which will raise its pitch, right? So one of the things about bending is, as soon as you venture into the bend land, you're dealing with a fretless instrument. You've stepped outside the walls of your frets, which give you a finite note, and you could have all kinds of little microtones, right? So one of the things that a lot of guitar players probably don't, well, for fact, don't focus on enough is bending in tune. So making sure that when you bend a note, you're bending it to pitch, so that you're in tune. So if I'm here at the 7th fret on the G string, and I want to bend it up to the note that is the 8th fret on the G string, right? You can either do it with just a straight pick once you're there, or you can bend it so you hear the approach up to the note, right? That's a great exercise right there, where you play one fret higher, back to the fret, bend to that pitch. Then you do it with a full pitch, a full step, which is 2 frets. Right? That's a great exercise for getting your bends in tune. Do it on all strings. Low ones too. The low ones I tend to pull down rather than push up because you'll pop off the edge of the neck. As far as the bending technique goes, here's the thing I find is best to remember, and that I tell my students a lot, and that is you're not pushing the note up. You're squeezing the note. You're squeezing it in and up. So you're like, right? As if the note, if it had juice in it, you'd be squeezing the juice out of the note, in and up, and you'll keep the pressure on it. Now notice, in this case, I'm bending with my 3rd finger, and I've got my other 2 fingers on the same string for support, and they're not doing the job, they're just like moral support. Really, most of the job is being done by this finger. Lately, I've started scooching them up even more together, so they may only occupy 2 frets. And I find you get more power, more control over your bend. But you have to be aware that when I come out of that bend, if I'm referencing a certain scale shape, maybe my 1st finger needs to be there. So when you sort of scooch it up like that, just remember where you are in the neck. So anyways, bending strings. Bend in tune, so important, because that's the difference between sounding fantastic and sounding, okay. This exercise, right? It's so useful. Okay, hope that was helpful. I'll see you next time.